The US dollar ended Wednesday's trading session lower across Iraq's currency markets, drawing the attention of traders, businesses, and citizens who closely monitor daily exchange rate movements. According to market data, the US dollar hovered around 153,000 Iraqi dinars per 100 US dollars by the close of trading. This represented a noticeable decline from the rates recorded earlier in the day, signaling another shift in the ongoing movement of Iraq's parallel market. While daily fluctuations are common, every change in the exchange rate is watched carefully because it can influence import costs, retail prices, business planning, and public sentiment throughout the country. According to Shafaq News Market Survey, the US dollar traded in Baghdad's Al-Kifah and Al-Harithiya central exchanges at approximately 152,800 Iraqi dinars per 100 US dollars by the close of Wednesday's trading. Earlier in the morning session, the rate had stood at around 153,300 dinars per $100. This means the market experienced a decline of roughly 500 dinars per 100 US dollars during the trading day, reflecting increased movement in the currency market before trading concluded. The changes were also visible at local exchange shops across Baghdad. By the end of the day, exchange shops were selling the US dollar at approximately 153,250 Iraqi dinars per 100 US dollars, while buying dollars at around 152,250 dinars. As always, the difference between buying and selling prices represents the exchange shop's operating margin and reflects normal trading activity. Meanwhile, in Erbil, the capital of the Kurdistan region, exchange shops reported selling prices of approximately 152,800 dinars per 100 US dollars and buying prices around 152,700 dinars. The relatively narrow spread in Erbil suggested comparatively stable trading conditions during the closing session. For many observers, the decline seen on Wednesday is another example of how Iraq's parallel currency market continues to respond to changing supply and demand conditions. Currency values in the parallel market often fluctuate throughout the day as traders react to market activity, commercial demand, available dollar liquidity, and expectations regarding future conditions. These daily movements can appear significant, but they do not necessarily indicate a long-term trend. Markets frequently experience short-term gains and declines as buyers and sellers adjust their positions. It is important to understand that these market figures represent prices in Iraq's parallel or open currency market. They should not be confused with Iraq's official exchange rate established by the Central Bank of Iraq. The official exchange rate remains separate from parallel market trading and is determined through official monetary policy. As of the time of this report, the Central Bank of Iraq has not announced any change to the country's official exchange rate. The official policy remains in effect, and no official statement has been issued regarding any revaluation, redenomination, or adjustment to the official value of the Iraqi dinar. This distinction between the official exchange rate and the parallel market is extremely important because confusion often arises when unofficial market prices are discussed online. Some individuals mistakenly interpret changes in street market exchange rates as evidence of a government policy change. However, fluctuations in the parallel market simply reflect private buying and selling activity and should not be interpreted as official monetary decisions. Only the Central Bank of Iraq has the authority to change the country's official exchange rate policy, and any such decision would be announced publicly through official government channels. Throughout recent months, Iraq's currency market has experienced periods of both upward and downward movement. Some trading sessions have seen the US dollar strengthen against the Iraqi dinar, while others have witnessed declines similar to Wednesday's session. Such volatility is not unusual in markets where commercial demand, import financing, banking procedures, and seasonal business activity all play significant roles in determining daily currency availability. Businesses across Iraq closely monitor these changes because many imported goods are purchased using US dollars. When the dollar becomes more expensive in the parallel market, import costs may increase for wholesalers and retailers. Conversely, when the dollar declines, businesses may experience lower purchasing costs, although retail prices do not always adjust immediately. The timing and extent of any impact depend on numerous factors including inventory levels, transportation expenses, and broader market conditions. Importers often purchase foreign currency to pay international suppliers for products ranging from food and medicine to electronics, machinery, construction materials, and industrial equipment. As a result, shifts in the exchange rate can affect business planning, especially for companies that regularly engage in international trade. Even relatively modest daily changes can influence purchasing decisions when large commercial transactions are involved. Consumers also pay close attention to exchange rate developments because imported products represent a substantial portion of goods sold throughout Iraq. Changes in currency values can eventually influence the prices of household items, consumer electronics, automobiles, building materials, clothing, and numerous other products. However, the relationship between exchange rate movements and consumer prices is often gradual rather than immediate. Financial analysts generally caution against placing too much emphasis on a single day's trading results. Currency markets naturally fluctuate from session to session, and broader trends are typically evaluated over longer periods. A decline during one trading day may be followed by stabilization, further declines, or even renewed increases depending on evolving economic conditions and market sentiment. Another important factor influencing Iraq's currency market is the availability of U.S. dollars through official banking channels. Various reforms introduced by Iraqi authorities over recent years have aimed to improve transparency in foreign currency transactions while strengthening compliance with international financial standards. These measures have influenced how dollars enter the market and how businesses obtain foreign currency for legitimate commercial purposes. Commercial demand also varies throughout the month. Import payment schedules, government spending, seasonal shopping periods, and business cycles can all affect demand for U.S. dollars. During periods of higher demand, exchange rates in the parallel market may rise, while periods of reduced demand can contribute to lower market prices similar to those observed during Wednesday's trading session. Investor psychology also plays a role in daily market movements. Expectations regarding future supply, anticipated policy decisions, regional developments, or international economic news can influence buying and selling behavior even when no official policy changes have occurred. Financial markets frequently react not only to current conditions, but also to expectations about future developments. Despite ongoing speculation frequently circulating across social media platforms, there has been no official announcement regarding any Iraqi dinar revaluation or change to Iraq's official exchange rate policy. Rumors periodically appear online claiming that significant currency reforms are imminent. However, such claims remain unsupported unless confirmed by official statements from the Central Bank of Iraq or the Iraqi government. The central bank has consistently emphasized that official monetary decisions are communicated through authorized channels. Investors, businesses, and members of the public are encouraged to rely on official announcements rather than unofficial reports, social media speculation, or unverified online content. This remains an important principle for anyone following developments related to Iraq's currency. Financial experts also note that stable monetary policy helps maintain confidence within both domestic and international markets. Predictability allows businesses to make investment decisions, negotiate contracts, and manage financial planning more effectively. Sudden, unexpected policy changes are generally avoided unless supported by broader economic objectives and communicated through appropriate official procedures. Iraq's economy continues to be influenced by multiple factors including global energy markets, government revenues, public spending, international trade, domestic economic reforms, and regional financial conditions. Oil exports remain the country's primary source of foreign currency earnings, making global oil prices an important component of Iraq's overall economic environment. Stronger oil revenues can improve government finances, while fluctuations in global energy prices may influence broader economic planning. Banking modernization efforts also continue to receive attention from Iraqi authorities. Reforms aimed at improving electronic payments, enhancing financial transparency, strengthening banking supervision, and expanding digital financial services are intended to modernize Iraq's financial sector over the long term. These structural improvements may contribute to greater financial stability as reforms continue to progress. International organizations have also encouraged Iraq to continue strengthening financial governance, improving banking efficiency, and diversifying economic activity beyond the oil sector. Such reforms generally take time to produce measurable results, and their effects on currency markets are usually gradual rather than immediate. Wednesday's trading session therefore represents one day's movement within a much broader financial landscape. While the decline from approximately 153,300 dinars to around 152,800 dinars per $100 attracted attention, experienced market observers understand that short-term fluctuations are a normal characteristic of currency markets. Businesses, investors, and consumers will likely continue monitoring future trading sessions to determine whether Wednesday's decline develops into a broader trend or whether exchange rates stabilize or reverse direction. Daily market reports provide useful snapshots of trading activity, but longer-term patterns require observation over weeks and months rather than individual trading sessions. For viewers following Iraq's currency market, it is essential to distinguish between verified market information and speculation. Reports based on actual trading activity help explain what is occurring in the market, while rumors about future policy changes should always be treated cautiously until confirmed through official sources. As of the time this script is being prepared, there's been no official announcement by the Central Bank of Iraq or the Iraqi government regarding any revaluation of the Iraqi dinar, any redenomination of the currency, or any modification to the official exchange rate. The official exchange rate policy remains unchanged, and Wednesday's reported figures refer solely to prices observed in the parallel market during normal trading activity. Looking ahead, attention will remain focused on future currency market sessions, official economic updates, banking developments, and broader economic indicators that may influence trading conditions. Market participants will continue evaluating supply and demand, commercial activity, and domestic economic conditions as they assess future exchange rate movements. Until any official policy announcement is made, daily fluctuations like those observed on Wednesday should be viewed as routine market developments rather than evidence of an official currency policy shift. The Iraqi dinar's official value remains determined by the Central Bank of Iraq, and any future changes would be announced publicly through official government institutions. In summary, Wednesday concluded with the US dollar trading lower in Iraq's parallel market compared with the morning session. Baghdad's central exchanges reported approximately 152,800 dinars per $100, while local exchange shops in Baghdad and Erbil also reflected lower closing prices. These figures illustrate another day of normal market activity driven by supply and demand conditions within the parallel currency market. At the same time, the official exchange rate established by the Central Bank of Iraq remains unchanged, and no official announcement has been made regarding any revaluation, exchange rate adjustment, or other change to Iraq's official monetary policy. Viewers should continue relying on verified information from official institutions while recognizing that daily market fluctuations are a regular feature of foreign exchange trading.